also know that on your return to Pretoria, your first stop was at Engine Garage at Murray Street. Is that correct?
From Pretoria. Did you say from Pretoria, my lord?
From Carltonville back to Pretoria.
Carltonville, tulo ya mathomo mo le emeng gona e be le Engine Garage ya Murray Street go jwalo. I would not recall the name of the street, however, it was in Alberton. Sizwile futhi nokuthi manisuke Carltonville niye nama kwi-Engine Garage yase Murray Street uthi igama lomgwaqo ngeke ngilikhumbule kodwa ngiyakhumbula ukuthi siyesama e-garage e-Alberton.
And we also know now that you remained at that Engine Garage from 1853 until the next morning.
Re a tseba gore gape le dutse gona mo garage ewe go tlogelleng nako ge be go shetse metsotso e šupa pele ga iri ya bošupa thapama go fihlelleng tšatši le latelang. That is correct. Siyazi futhi nokuthi nina nifikela phayana egarage ma kusele imizuzu eyisikhombisa ngaphambi kwehora lesikhombisa futhi nina naba lapho kufikela ilanga elilandelayo uthi yekweqiniso.
Can you remind the court that from that 1853 until midnight, what was happening?
Le ka go tsa khoro gore ka nana kwewe go tlogelleng metsotso e šupileng pele ga iri ya bošupa go fihlelleng bošego gare go be go diragala eng? As I have testified to the court that we had a problem with our vehicle, njengoba besisengchazile ukuthi imoto yethu yayikade isihlupha ngaleli yalanga uma sifika egarage. That's when we went into that garage, myself and the late Sergeant Mabena kulasi yesangena lapho mina no Mufi uSergeant Mabena and the accused Bongani Ntanzi no mangalelwa uBongani Ntanzi. And I contacted my commander, informing my commander that we had a problem with our vehicle, and my commander is Brigadier Gininda, and we were going into the garage. Utige we washayela ucingo ku commander wakhe oku Brigadier uGininda yazisa ukuthi bahlushwa imoto futhi bangena egarage.
And
he informed me that it would be best if we call Ekurhuleni Metro Police so that they would give us backup whilst we are still at that particular place. Kula uye wangcebisa ke ubrigadier wathi kimi kungcono sishayele Ekurhuleni Metro Police ukuthi beze bazosixhasa njengoba sisase lapho egarage.
It's enough, you can hold it there. Sergeant, do you admit that this crucial evidence, this crucial piece of evidence, you never mention it in your evidence in chief?
Bare le a dumela gore botlhatsi bo eleng gore bo botlhokwa kudu lena ga seng ke la botlhalosha ge be le thoma ka botlhatsi ba lena gorong.
Which evidence is that? The fact that he phoned Gininda?
No, the evidence that there was
Which evidence?
The evidence, my lord, that they stopped at that garage for the entire evening until midnight.
Yes, Sergeant.
If you were listening to my evidence well, I did explain in my evidence in chief, and in actual fact we did not stop there the whole night because we had arrived at Pretoria around 3 a.m. Uthike lobufakazi lobu obuqhayi kanjena wena awuzange uchaze la enkantolo ngalesikhathi ukhana ngobufakazi bakho uma uqala uthi usajeni uma ephendula kahle kahle asihlalanga laphayana ubusuku bonke thina siye saba laphayana ePretoria sifike ngabo 3 ntathakusa uma ingabe bongizwile umambe kuphana ngobufakazi bami ngiye ngachaza lento engiyisho namanje.
Sergeant, that is not correct. We know now, it's on record, that you actually left there on the 19th. It was after midnight. From 1853 until midnight, you were still there.
Bare sel se bolela nga sennete gape ba tseba gore lena le sepitse letšatši le latelang le fitlhile mola ka metsotso e šupileng ka pele ga iri ya bošupa gape la ba mola go fitlheleleng bošego gare.
Midnight midnight
After 12 o'clock.
Can you please explain to me what time are you referring to when you are referring to midnight? Bara kamera ga iri ya bo ya leso ya masomepedi. When you recall well, if you would also refer to the AVL, it will also reflect on what time did I leave. Uthi ke lobu bufakazi bokuthi nihambe ngemva kwentathakusa awuchazanga. Uthi ke usajeni ngicela ungichazisele uma ukhuluma ngathathakusa ukhuluma ngasiphi isikhathi kumele uthi ngisho ubusuku phakathi ngehora le-12 uthi uma ningabheka i-AVL izochaza ke ukuthi ngalelo la ngihambe laphayana ngobani isikhathi.
Actually, Sergeant, the AVL shows that you actually left that place around 19 minutes past 12 midnight.
Bare AVL e bontsha gore lena le sepetse tulong ela metsotso ya lesome senyane ka moraga bošego gare. May I please refer to the AVL before I respond? Uthi ke i-AVL ibonisa ukuthi nihambe laphayana imizuzu e-14 nesishagalolunye ngaphambi ngemva kwehora le-12 ebusuku. Uthi ngicela ukuyibheka ngaphambi kokuthi ngingaphendula.
I
do not have my glasses. May the interpreter please assist me. You said what time? 12?
It is 19 minutes past 12 midnight. That is on the 19th.
Okay, one.
Yes, I can see that. Uthi ngiyayibona la usho khona isikhathi semizuzu e-18.
Now you concede that you actually stayed there from 1853 on the 18th, and you only left there on the 19th at 9 minutes past 12 at night.
Biale le a dumela gore lena le fitlhile mola ka 1853 la tlo sepela ka 19 minutes past 12. That is correct. Uthi yebo ngiyavuma ukuthi sifikela phayana uma kube kusele imizuzu eyisikhombisa ngaphambi kwehora lesikhombisa. Sasuka ke uma kusele uma imizuzu beyishagalolunye 19 ngaphambi ngemva kwehora les-12.
Now let's go back to my initial question. I said to you, this crucial evidence, you never mention it in your evidence in chief, even after or during the cross-examination by the counsel for accused 1 and 2. You never mention that piece of crucial evidence.
As a question, that is not correct. He did mention it during cross-examination of counsel for accused 1 and 2. The fact that there was a mechanical breakdown of the vehicle, it was mentioned.
What are we arguing about? 19 minutes past 12. Mr. Monyeki, we're arguing about 19 minutes.
My Lord, this witness...
Yeah, you mentioned that he never mentioned that he was there for the rest of the night.
All I'm putting, my Lord, is that this piece of crucial evidence, was not going to be to the benefit of the court had we not have sight of the AVL, because this witness never told us about that crucial evidence.
Your colleague says he did mention it under cross-examination. Mr. Balui says
yes, but my lord, the court will remember that this information became clearer when the AVL report was produced, and very late, my lord, during the examination, re-examination.
Okay, yeah, you may continue, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
And may I also put it on record that my colleague, Mr. Jonas, will be assisting in Zulu. I'll be doing Sepedi editing.
Thank you.
Thank you, my lord.
Sergeant Mukhari, I'm putting it to you that this piece of crucial evidence you only testify about it when the AVL report was produced.
Ba re lena ba le botsa gore botlhatsi bo botlhokwa kudu lena le thomile go bo fana ka botlhatsi ba gona ge se go tishwe botlhatsi bo ba AVL.
nka gana lena ka gore ge le gopola botse a ke tsona be le dutse ka lena gore be le gona maphoto ne re bala AVL Adv Monyeki ne re bala AVL step by step ke a tsaba gona mo botlhatsi bo botsuile kale ka mo go nyotsa ona a ke tsona a tshele bo kwena because a gona ka mogolo re ne nka bolela go sena AVL gore ibe botse sa mae ka tsela ka o bolore lo tse dintsi ke bolela ka moaga meraro ya go feta AVL e be le thushitse ka gore yale goro ina le nkabe ga se ina le clear vision ya gore go dira ka tšeng.
I would like to dispute that, and I do not know where were you sitting, whether were you in court or not, when I had testified on this evidence. As the defense for accused number 1 and 2 was asking me, we had went through the AVL step by step, and it assisted for the court to have a clear view, as stated in English by the witness as well.
Meluthi then ngiyofakazi lena ke asiyona ke ebaluleke noma semqoka kangaka akusiyona into oyishilo uma uqala ke noma eqaleni nikezwe ngofakazi bakho oyishilo uthi cha wenza iphutha ke lapho angazi noma ubukuphi noma ubuhlezi la enkantolo noma ubukuphi yini uma bengikeza ngofakazi futhi ke ummeli kamsolo wokuqala nawesibili ke uma ebembuza ke besihamba ngayo ke ngokulandelelana ke yona iAVL lena nokuthi futhi ke inkantolo ibone noma izwisise kahle.
Mr. Mohane, you are correct, but you clearly don't understand the question. All I'm saying to you is that in your evidence in chief, this incident about the stop at Mari Street Engine Garage for more than 5 hours, that evidence was never tendered during your evidence in chief. It only came out when you were re-examined by the state.
Barre lena le bolela nnete e fela e ka re gona le ntwe le sa ikwishishing ga botse bona ba re botlhatsi bo ba gore lena le dutse garageng yela ye mo Mari Street le dutse nako e ka lekanang le di-iri tše 5 ga senke lena ge be le thoma ka botlhatsi ba lena le ba botse gore re dutse mo garageng yela nako e ka lekanang le di-iri tše 5 e tsweletše ge se ntate Baloi a le botšiša ge se a le botšiša dipotšo la bobedi. I dispute that.
Ngiyaphikisana ke nalokho uma uthi lokho angikushonga ukufocus bami ke uma ngiqala noma okuyihloko ke kodwa ngikhiphe uma ngabe umshishisi esengibuza futhi okwesibili lokho ngiyakuphikisa.
Let me again remind you. There was a question that was put to you. It was during the time when we were talking about the 17 hours that you spent with the accused on the 18th of June 2020. You were asked the question as to what were you doing with the accused number 2. why didn't you send him back to Pretoria? Your answer was that, one, you were still conducting other investigations. Two was that the accused said he was going to be bored. He was happy to go around with you. Remember that evidence?
But it is correct, even before it was interpreted, the witness responded.
Yes.
That it's the truth.
Ufakazi uyavuma ke uthi iqiniso ekumbuza wona ke ukuthi bengibuziweke umbuzo ukuthi nkathi ke ngami no accused number 2 ngachitha amahora awu17 kanye naye izathu ke ngisinikezile ukuthi ke ngisaphenya ke nokuthi wasethi yena ke ayike uzoqhubeka ke noma uzoba body ke uma engabuyela yebo uyiqiniso lokho.
Sergeant Mohana, I'm putting to you that that moment was your opportunity to tell this court that the reason you also took so long to get back to Pretoria, it was because you had a breakdown on the road. But you never mentioned it.
Bare yana nako e bel nako e maleba ya gore lena le tle le go tse khoro gore le baka le le dirileng gore le tsie nako ye telele ka mogo gore lena le be le boya le Pretoria e be le ka le baka la gore kolo ya lena ile ya senyega ka o ya lena ba senke le go tse khoro se I remember informing the court. I do not recall mentioning anything else.
Uthi ke lelo ke bekuyithuba lapho kuyichazela ke inkantolo ukuthi ke sinye seyizathu ukuthi ke imoto lena ke kwayengakhoniki ukuthi ngaqhubeka ke nohamba yayinenkinga uthi ke ngikhumbula ke ngitshela ke inkantolo ngikhumbula nje ngisho kunye.
Now, Mr. Mokhane, if in your evidence in chief you did not tell this court about this incident, because I remember very well when you started talking about calling Jonathan, who came and organized a mechanic to assist you. It was during the re-examination. It was not during your evidence in chief.
Ba re bona ba gopola gore botlhatsi bo le la fana ka bona re ne le bolela ka gore le la bitsa Jonathan yena ke mo eleng gore o ile a tla a bitsa mathusha tja jing ke re le gore ke nako e bega le butša diputišo le khala bobedi ga se re be le thoma lena ka botlhatsi ba le
ele ka busha botse ke le re tloga Carltonville na le case e be di dira tse le gore khoro sa leng khopela gore ke di printer ka le fa tsona go meteng dia tsala court ya rena e lo tsere bale rena ga re phenya di case tsana le shuru kudu a nka sno rintsha a bo jo re dira eng ro dira eng
soranyana. If you would recall well, I had mentioned that as we were coming back from Carltonville, there were other matters that we were investigating, and those, some of them are those ones that were leaked in court, and you would recall that our cases are very dangerous, so we would not just disclose everything that we are investigating.
Uma uzokhumbula kahleke ngishila ukuthi nkathi sibuya noma sasibuya ngayo ke eCarltonville kunamanye amacala esasiwaphenya futhi nokuthi ke ila amacala ke la ibinkantolo ke ise yancela ke ukuthi ke ngilethe imininingwane nokuthi futhi ke amacala ke esiwaphenya yonke amacala ke abucayi kabi asikwazi ke ukuthi nje singabe sesidalule imininingwane yalawo macala lawo.
You see, Sergeant, you are again confusing issues.
Mr. Monyeki, can't you leave that for argument?
No,
because this witness can't argue against.
It's fine.
Wait. He can't argue against forensic evidence. If you putting it to him that he never said it in chief, that's it. You can pursue it under argument, because he says you were not in court. You don't remember what I said. I remember I said that I dispute what you said. So we're going to be doing all this disputation, and I remember, you don't remember, until when? Until when?
As it pleases the court, my lord, I will leave that for argument.
Yeah, argument. Then you can show that this witness' mind is wandering.
Indeed, man.
Yes.
Sergeant Mokhane, after the Mari Strait, you said Jonathan organized the mechanic. Is that still your evidence?
Le rile ge le se le fitlile mola mo mmileng wa Mari ke mo eleng gore Jonathan yena o ile a bitsa mathusha judge. It is confirmed.
Ngisakusho ke ngishilo ngaphambili ukuthi ke uJonathan yena ke kathi imoto ke yayingahambi inenkinga owasibethela ke mechanic.
And how was this mechanic paid?
Yena o patetswe jwang
For fixing the state car?
go lokisheng koloi ya mmuso?
Well, I get to mechanic one.
Well, I do not know, as it's their mechanic. I do not know how they paid that mechanic.
Ukuthi ke wakhokhwa kanjani ke ngokuthi alungiseke imoto yombuso angikwazi lokho kwaku mechanic wabo ukuthi bangikhokha ngayiphi indlela angazi.
Let me also put it to you, Mr. Sergeant Mokgadi, that even Jonathan, when he was giving evidence in this court, he never mentioned this incident at Mari Engine, and that he had to organize a mechanic to come and fix your car. He never mentioned that.
Bare nke ba le botsege gore le Jonathan ge be a tlile kgorong ga senke a bolele taba ya mechanic gore o ile a swanela gore a bitse mathusha judging gore a tle a tlo le thusha go lokisha koloi yale ga senke a e bolele yo wa kgorong.
A ke tsebe nka so marabela ka koloi bele ya rena ise ya bona. So a ke tsona nganya sa e bolele.
I do not know. I would not be able to respond on his behalf, as the vehicle was ours, not theirs. So I do not know why he did not mention that in court.
Kumele uyamchazela ke ufakazi ukuthi no Jonathan Mbala ke kathi ela enkantolo akakushongo lokho ukuthi yena ke khona lapha kuya engine ba oqelekala ukuthi alethe mechanic. Uthi angazi ke angeke ngimphendulele nokuthi futhi ke imoto kwakuyimoto yethu ke kungasiyona ke eyakho.
On that issue, lastly, I'm putting it to you that there was no way he would tell this court because that incident did not happen the way you are telling this court now.
Bar bona mo mafellong mo go yona taba ye bare ba nyaka go le botsa gore be go sena ka mogweleng gore a ba ka botsa kgoro ka gona ka lebaka la gore ntwe e leng gore lena le tlhalosha ka gona ga se diragale ka moggo lena le tlhalosha ka gona.
I
do not know how to respond further to that question. However, I still stand by my way.
Ukuthi ke ngokuphendula kanjani ke lokushoyo ukuthi ke uJonathan akakushongo lokho ngoba akuzange kwenzeke ngalendlela emisho ngayo angazi ke kodwa mina lokho engikushoyo ngisakusho namanje.
I will leave that for argument again.
Bara batla elesa batla ba bakishana ka yona bona Sergeant
Mokhane, now we know that you left engine garage at 19 minutes past 12. Where did you go?
Barre atseba ge gore rena le sepetimola engine garage 19 minutes ka moraga iri ya le somepedi le ile kae?
Pretoria North.
We went back to Pretoria North.
Uma ke suka lapha yana ke kuya engine ke ngo 19 imizuzu 19 eshayile u12 sabuyela ePretoria North.
Straight to Pretoria North, no any other stops.
Lile to Pretoria North ga gona mo gongwe mo le emeng gona. If my memory serves me well, indeed we went straight to Pretoria North.
Mangikhumbula kahle ke akhola esandlula khona masema khona sahamba sa ePretoria North.
If I tell you that that is not actually correct, you actually went to Eraton and you arrived there at 12:38.
Bare ge ba ka le botsa gore lena ga se nnete sewe lena le fetetse Eraton la fitla gona metsotsong ye 30 seswai morago ga boshigo gare le ka renka sewe
e ka lo ba nnete a kere re tlo lebella ke aka AVL. So nka se gopole gore ke eme kae mara gopola gore ke ile straight mara e ke eme ka ba ke eme because Eraton is one of our head offices.
That could be correct. However, I'm going through as the AVL states on where did I stop. I do not recall. However, Eraton is one of our head offices.
ukuthi ke ngaya ke noma ngadlula e-Eratin la ngafika khona ngo-12:38 angeke ngiphikiseke noma ngithi angeke kwenzeke akuzange kwenzeke ke lokho kodwa ke ngihamba nge-AVL uma ngiphendula ke futhi kungenzeka ke ngoba i-Eratin enye ke ama head office ethu.
And the records of AVL shows that you remained there for close to 30 minutes.
The record tja AVL di bontsha gore lena le dutse mowe nakong ye ka lekanang le metsotso ye 30. May I go through the AVL?
Ukuthi ke ngama 30 minutes lapho bengicela nje ukubheka ke i-AVL.
I can see that it is correct.
Now the question is that what were you doing there with the accused number 2 at midnight?
Utsho ke gore biale be le dirang mo le molatofatso wa bobedi magareng ga bosigo.
Ka tshetse go boletse gore ke one of the kantoro tsa rena. Ba re ke fitile mo ke sa ke tsaya dipampiri tse dingwe le re ka sa go bona ke la time mara ke go pola rena go fitile mo.
As I have already mentioned that it's one of our offices, it is possible that I had went there to collect some documents. However, I do not recall which documents are those.
Ukuthi ngangenzani ke lapho kanye nayo umsolo wesibili ke sakhumbula kahle ke ngenzeka ukuthi bakhona ama documents amaphepha ke engangiyowalanda kodwa ke ukuthi awaphi angisakhumbula noma imaphi.
And I am going to put it to you that in your evidence in chief, this evidence was never mentioned by you.
Marabanya ka go le botsa gore le bona botlhatse bo ge be le fana ka botlhatse la le khala mathomo le na ga senke la bo bolela botlhatse
sakana na lena ka re be ba leader ka AVL this document re fitile mo re ba di lore la go mpusha a bona o sa le nga butshana be dirang ntho le e be le butcha kudu le taba ya dumping site ka tse para se dumping site mo aerial photography ya specialist sama tweto wa AVL for sure bonchi jot ke office tja rena.
I believe I had testified on this. I recall when we were going through the AVL properly, we did specify about this place. However, no one asked me on what were we doing there. And I would believe that the only point it was when I was asked about the dumping site. And I believe that the photographs of the witness that testified on the AVL, the specialist, he would have maybe shown that this is not the dumping site.
Ukuthi ke lobufakazi angibishongo ke uma ngiqala ukunikeza ngobufakazi bami ke ngikhumbula kahle ukuthi ke uma ngangibuza ke ngibuzwa ngayo AVL lena ke akekho umuntu owangibuza ukuthi ke ngangenzani ke lapha yana kodwa ngikhumbulayo ke ubufakazi ukuthi kwakhulunywa nge-dumping site noma ke indawo ke yokulahla ke izibi ngicabanga ukuthi ke nangenkathi ke ungoti ke ebekhona la utshengisile ukuthi akusiyona ke i-dumping site lena kodwa ke ama-office noma ke indawo.
I will leave that for argument because it's not correct. Now, Sergeant Mokhale, we know that you returned to Pretoria on the 19th and you arrived, or the AVL report shows that the engine was switched off at about 2:30. Is that correct?
Bargape re a tseba gore lena le boetse Pretoria mo ileng gore engine ile ya timiwa metsotso e 30 ka moraga iri ya bobedi.
Sa go fela go lebella AVL ya ka
May I please go through the AVL?
ya ke nnete.
Yes, it is correct.
Kuyatshengisa ke lana lokho ongibuza khona ke ukuthi ngibona ngabuyela ke khona ePretoria ngaye u2:30.
Sergeant Mokhane, if we calculate the hours from 8:15 or 8:11, when you book out accused number 2 to Carltonville, at 2:30, more or less, how many hours are we talking about?
Bara re lebella di iri go tlogella metsotsong ya lesomete ka moraga iri ya seswai le tšatšing le la di 18 go yešeng ke mola metsotso ye masome a mararo ka moraga iri ya bobedi mola ka di 19 mohlomong e be le di iri tše kae
ke tsebe le ka mpotsa go sa ke tsebe le palo.
I do not know as I am not well versed with mathematics.
Ukuthi ke amangaki ke la usuka ngenkathi ke ngaphipha ngayo ke umsolo wesibili kwaze kwayisikhathi la engibuyisela khona ngo2:30 angazi ke ibalo ke muhle kuzona.
Will I be wrong if I said our last estimate was about 17 hours?
Bare ba tla be ba dira portionage bare re ile ra re mo e ka tswa e be le di iri tše lesomešupa.
It
Could be correct.
And somewhere in your evidence, you said that whatever you were eating, the accused number 2 was also eating.
There is no truth that surpasses that one. It is correct.
Is there evidence that you can present before the court to show that indeed he had something to eat?
I do not know what type of evidence would that be as 3 years have already passed. We eat food and it does not stay in our intestines, and then the receipts, we had also lost those receipts. However, he ate.
Ukuthi ke yiphi ke inhlobo yobufakazi oyifunayo ke noma othi ke ngitshengise yona angazi ke ngoba ke ukudla siyakudla akuhlali la thina ke ngaphakathi sekundlule neminyaka emithathu futhi nawo ke amaphepha noma ama receipts asisenawo kodwa ukudla wadla.
And you expect this court to take your word for it with no evidence?
Lena nyaka gore khoro e tšie botlhatsi bo we balena le sena le nyaka gore khoro e tšie mantšu ya le wa bolelang le sena botlhatsi
ka tsapa re khoro e tla pušiša gore re rena le botho le lerato la gore motshwariwa ga itša a jelelo le be re tsamoreke le dijo tša maemo a fase ge re ja KFC wa ja ge re ja Nando's wa ja whatever we eat so re ntse re ja gore ra mo rekela le ena.
I believe the court would see that we had humanity in us, as whatever that we would eat, the accused would also eat. Whenever we eat KFC, he would eat. Whenever we eat Nando's, he would eat. We were not buying food that was underrated for him.
Ukuthi ke inkantolo noma ngifisa noma ngifuna ukuthi ke inkantolo ke ikholweke lokho engishoyo lana ke inkantolo nje mina ukuthi iboneke ukuthi sasinobuntu ngalelo langa lelo sasimthengela ke lokudla sasikudla singamthengeleki uma thina sidla KFC simthengeleke okunye ukudla naye wayedla KFC uma ukuthi sidla Nando's nayo ke naye adle Nando's loyo.
Sergeant, I will leave that for argument.
Barliona we batla elesa batata ba bakishana ka.
Then on the 19th, we know now that the accused, number 2, was booked back at 2:30. What time did you book him out again?
Bare re a tseba gore ka di 19 molatofatšwa o ile a bušetšwa ka metsotso ye 30 ka moraga iri ya bobedi jwatše lena le ile la montšha neng gape le mo book out.
E kopa la botse re tsamaile na ka 10 to 5 for
If my memory serves me well, we had booked him out at 10 minutes to 5 in the morning.
Uma ngikhumbula kahle ke ngalo lelo langa lelo kule 19 mase sibuka out noma ngimkhipha ko babu 10 to 5 ekuseni.
Are you able to assist us with the times between 2:30 and 4:50?
Le ka khona gore thusha ka nako magareng ga 2:30 le 4:50.
ke kushishona le ke le thusha ka mogwama.
I do not understand what type of assistance are you asking for regarding those times.
If I look at the time between 2:30 and 4:50, it indicates to me that accused number 2 was actually at Pretoria North for less than 3 hours. Is that correct?
Bare bona ga ba lebella nako magareng ga 2:30 le 4:50 ba bona gore molatofatswa wa bobedi yena o ba le mola Pretoria North iri cheka fase ga iri tshetharo.
Ke nnete.
That is correct.
Kuqiniswa kuma ubheka ukusuka ke na 2:30 kuya ke ku 4:50 ukuthi ngaphansi nje kwamahora amathathu.
And ordinarily, he was in the car in your company for 17 hours. If he arrives at Pretoria North, it is expected that he should have gone and taken a shower to be fresh. Is that not possible?
Bara ga go khonagale na gore jwalo ka ba bang a be a le koloing ya lena di iretse ka bang tse le some shupa yena e re ge ya fitla Pretoria North ye be le gore motlhomong o ile a ya a ilo itsokotsa na.
E ke tlhalositsa gore monna modimo ba phela edile.
What I will explain to the court is that this gentleman, he was sleeping most of the time.
Bekungalindelekile yini uma kuwukuthi ke wafika ke khona ePretoria North ngo-2:30 ukuthi akahambeke ayoyigeza engakutshela le nkantolo ukuthi ke umbisa lona ke wayelala ke ikhathi eliningi.
Nogomme le ka re sepela le yena be ke sa go monkgwa ga hlapa no ba no phela edile a le botse ba le gore gore wa hlapa ka kwa diseleng e ka mogolong ka be lo ra hlapa ka be ke mokwelo ra ba monna ge shwa ba le kwa pala ba le tsa mo tshwara metsi.
And even as we were traveling with him, there was no point where I had a bad odor on him. He was always smelling fresh, and if there was a time where he did not smell fresh, I would have informed him that now it's time for you to take a bath.
Futhi ke ngakutshela le nkantolo ukuthi ngaso sonke ke isikhathi engangihamba naye ke asikho isikhathi la khona ke kwakunephunga ke ozwa ukuthi cha leli phunga ke akusona iphunga elimnandi ke uma kuwukuthi bakufinyelele kulokho ila ngangizosho kuyona kithi indoda cha manje sekufinyele isikhathi sokuthi manje ukuyogeza.
I take your explanation for the purposes of this question. So you agree with me that when he arrived at 2:30, chances are he went and took a bath or a shower.
Bara gora gore bona ba tla itse gore ge be a fitla ka metsotso ele e masoma mararo moraga iri ya bobedi yena le nagana gore o ile a sepela a ile tlhapa.
Nka no ro tlhapile ge ke le botsa ke ra zanga no ba monkgwa gore monna ge shwa ba tsena metseng.
I could state that he had taken a shower since I did not hear any bad smell from him that he did not take a bath.
Uma ngakuphendula ke ngemibuzo leyo ukuthi ke uma efika ngo-2:30 ngenzeka ukuthi yini wayohlala naye namanzi ngasho ukuthi kwenzeka ukuthi wageza ngoba ke uma ke sengiphinda ngimthatha futhi angizange ngilizweke iphunga elingemnandi.
So then it will mean that another 20 minutes, 30 minutes from 2:30, after 2:30, another 20, 30 minutes was for a shower.
No, but that's speculation. How do you know that he had a shower?
That is what he said.
No,
he said there was
he's
no
making
smell.
suppositions
Okay.
that he never had, not had, never smelled any pet odor, so he takes it for granted that you could have had showered. Now you want to delineate the time, 30 minutes within which you could have showered. We don't know that.
As it pleases the court, my lord. Ordinarily, if, I don't know how prison works, if you arrived in prison at 2:30, do you have a meal put somewhere for you to eat that time of the night?
Ba re ga ba tsebe gore kgole wa e bereka jwang motlhomong ge motho a fitlhile ka na nako ela ya bo 2:30 motho wa e a khumane ba mmeetse dijo
a tshetse ke tlhalositse ke re sepela le ena go re bile le re sepela di court go ka go fa mohlala ge re sa ya phukeng.
As I have explained that as we are traveling with him, even when we are traveling to different courts, I would give you an example when we were going to Puking.
Nanjengoba besenitshilo ngaphambili-ke ube umbuzo uthi-ke uma nifika ngo-2:30 kukhona la bebe khona ukudlala ukuthi uma efika akuthole bengishilo kokona ngaphambili ukuthi nanjengoba sihamba besiya kweyinkantolo ezahlukene angithi nje isibonelo ngisebenziseke uma sesibesiya ePhukeng
Re fetša o postpone re boela morago go na le more ya mang re ija.
After the matter has been postponed, going back, there is a certain place where we would stop and eat.
Bekuthi-ke uma sesibuyele emuva-ke icala selihlehlisiwe kulanda esizoma khona-ke sidle
Omme re tloga moga before re misha ka di-selling police station re ema mo gausi le police station ya go na le garage ya Sasol mo gausi le Valeria police station.
And before we take him to the cells, there is a garage next to Valeria police station. We would also stop there.
Ngaphambi kokuthi simseke simhambise siye emaselinye-ke uma ngaphambi kokuthi nje ufike-ke kwenye police station yase Valeria unosasolo khona
Omme o tla mmotsa gore monna ka lebele o ya ka di-selling o ra re me le dijo tša mosegaradio and ntho ngape o ba dula le teng mo gare ga sele so be re dira sure gore o tsena le dijo ga a tsena ka mola di-selling.
And we would ask him, as now you are about to go to the cells and it has already passed the afternoon, you would not find food. Then we would make sure that he goes into the cell with food, as he was staying alone in a cell.
Okunye futhi-ke bese senza isiqiniseko kwabo ukuthi nanjengoba besithi uma sesimbuyisela kona-ke amasela bese siyakhuluma-ke siyasho-ke kuyena ukuthi manje uma uyongena ngaphakathi-ke sesidlululeke nesikhathi-ke sokudla besenza isiqiniseko-ke sokuthi uma ungena enako noma ephethe ukudla ngoba-ke ebeyedwa kwisela ebekusona
Ebile o tla ikgethela gore o nyako jera motse gore na mogalabe le gore o nyako ja eng na a bolele ntho a nyaka re mo rekele ka pelo e tshweu.
And he would also have a choice on what he would want to eat. We would ask him what does he prefer to eat, and we would buy whatever that he prefers to eat.
Okunye futhi-ke besiyekela kuyenabo ukuthi ayikhethele noma ayisholo ukuthi-ke benesifiso sokuthi adleni ngaleso sikhathi noma-ke ngalelo langa lelo-ke simthengele lokho afisa ukuthi abe nako noma akudle.
Is that what happened on that day?
Ke ntho e diragetse ka letsatsi leo.
Ka moka matšatši a gona tšatši a sa tseleng a sa ja re tla kgontišišwa go a ja.
All the days, there is no day where he had went into the cell without eating. We always made sure that he eats.
Asho ukuthi yiloko kwenzeka ngalelo langa lelo kodwa-ke into ebiyenzeka-ke ngawo onke amalanga besenza isiqiniseko sokuthi-ke akangeni ngaphakathi-ke kwiseli sakhe engadlile.
Sergeant, you have an AVL report. Can you show us that on that day the motor vehicle stopped at that Sasol garage that you are talking about, so that you can buy accused number 2 food?
Barle na le AVL mo kgausole. Nkele re bontsha gore ka tšatši lewe koloi ile ya ema Sasol garage ye le bolelang ka yona gore le tle le rekele molatofatšwa dijo.
Re le gopola botse ke rile advocate ngometsele a Crossco ke rile re jile kwa engine garage kwa engine garage.
If you recall well, when Advocate Ngomezulu was examining me, I had said we ate at engine garage.
Umshayeli kumele becela ukuthi ke awusitshengiseke kule AVL la khona ke ingena khona ke eSasol la ngithengela khona kumsolo wesibili ukudla uthi uma ukhumbula kahle ke nkathi uadvocate Ngomezulu embuza ke imibuzo ngathi sangena engine la esadla khona
Wa Albertine. Nako go botsa ka Sasol garage, go botsa ka majaji a mangwe le ritual court le mosagare. Re tsana mala re barekela dithu. Jaji le re jile kwa engine garage Albertine. Go sena ke go ja fo.
And the engine garage that I am referring to, it was in Alberton, and there are other days. The ones that I'm referring to, Sasol, it was other days, and on this particular day, we ate at engine garage in Alberton.
Engine food loyo ke engine ose Albertine. Usasol ke ngikhuluma ke ngamanye ke amalanga noma ngezinye ke izinsuku la singangena khona ke kwaSasol.
And again, you don't have any evidence to show or to produce to this court that indeed on that day you bought food at that engine garage.
Le ka yona ye ya dijo tša engine garage ga le na bone botlhatsi o e leng gore le ka bo bontšha gore le ka tšatši le o rekile dijo. As I have previously testified that food does not stay in our intestine.
Bese ngiphenduleke lokho ukuthi ke manje ngokubuza ukuthi abukho ubufakazi engingabuletha obutshengisayo ukuthi sadla ke kwa engine bese ngishilo ukuthi ukudla kuhlale ngaphakathi kuthini.
I'll leave that for argument, Sergeant. Then, Sergeant, at 4:30 on the 19th, you book accused number 2 out of Pretoria North Prison. You proceeded to Moroka Police Station, is that correct?
Bare ka di 19, ka 4:30, lidela buka mula tufatwa limoncha, limuisha police station ya Moroka.
No, we mchicha ka 4:50, lwana veria Fosloras court
On that particular day of the 19th, we booked him out at 4:50, and actually we were going to Fosloras court, not Moroka.
Umele uthi ke ngalelo langa lelo ke bathi ngelanga 19 ngo4:30 lamkhipha ke umsolanya naye eMoroka uthi cha akusona iqiniso lelo ngalelo langa sakhupha ke isikhipha isikhathi ku4:50 futhi ke sasingayike eMoroka sasiya enkantolo yase Phosphorus.
All I'm saying to you, Sergeant, is that initially you were going to Fosloras Police, Fosloras Court, but you ended up at Moroka Police Station after Brigadier Gininda called you and told you that you need to take accused number 2 to Moroka Police Station.
Marse ba se bolela ke gore lena le be le tswile le be le nyaka go ya gorong ya Fosloras. E o pia le fele tšešetše le gore lena le ya police stationing ya Moroka ka moraga gore Brigadier Gininda a be a letšetše mogala a le botše gore le tšwelele pele le ye gona.
Ke nnete.
That is correct.
Ngokuyiqiniso ke ukuthi ke ekuqaleni ke sasiya ke enkantolo ke akhona ke Phosphorus kodwa kwathi ke uma sesishayelwa ke ucingo uyena uBrigadier Gininda athi ke asiqale khona eMoroka.
After Moroka, you went to Fosloras Court, is that correct?
Ka moraga gore le tloile Moroka la ya gorong ya Fosloras.
Ke nnete.
That is correct.
Bese kuthi emuva kalokho ke eMoroka sasesiya ePhosphorus.
And you found that the case against accused number 2 was not enrolled on that day, is that correct?
La khumana gore molato wa molatofatwa wa bobedi bo sego di tokomaneng tša kgoro tšatši leo.
A kwishisho a ke re preverisha le wana re saya a tsone gore a dio go ya ka re bona le re saya ne se postponement le re saya go place amla.
I do not understand what do you mean when you're saying the matter was not on the roll, as we were still going to put the matter. on the road.
Uma uthi ke safika ke sathola ukuthi ke icala ke lalengekho kusho lamacala alelo langa lelo ukuthi usho ukuthini angikuzwisisi ngoba ke sasisendleleni sinoba sasiya khona lapho ukuthi icala liyofaka ke kusho lamacala asenkantolo.
Sergeant, your evidence was that you went to Moroka police station. After that, you went to Foslora's court. And upon your inquiry, you found out that that matter was not on the roll.
Moroka police station ke re le gore e rile ge le motšiša ke ge le gore lena ba le botša gore molato we wona ga bogo ditokomaneng tša kgolo.
Se nnete molato wa sanka ba o enrolla mo controlling e se gore a bogo ka mo ke tlhatša ke re a se molato re bo o tswela pele ke molero re sa buiša moswa.
It is not correct, as the matter was not yet placed on the court roll. It was a new matter. It's not that we were going for a matter that had previously been postponed. It was still a new matter.
Akusona ke qiniso ukuthi ke icala lelo lalingekho kokuhlala amacala ngoba akusiyo ukuthi babuyicala elaliqhubeka ke noma elalivelileke ngaphambili kodwa babuyicala elaliyovela okokuqala phambi kwemanje noma ke liyofakwa kuhla lamacala.
My point, Sergeant, is that accused number 2 never appeared on that day.
Taba ya bona ke gore molatofatšo wa bobedi a seng ke a tsene kgorong tšatši leo.
Ka ge a ke a tshepa gore lena le mengwaga e mentši le bereka le moemedi ke a tseba gore ge o fitlha court re iša o ka etepele ga motšhotšhisi ge e le gore motšhotšhisi a enrolle mo listing mogona le gore moswari a ka se appeare court o tlo no tswa ka kwa diseeleng morago a ka se appeare le gore a ba enroll.
Yes, and I believe you have experience as an advocate. When an accused is to be taken to court and the matter is not put on the roll, then that particular accused would not appear before the court. The accused would then leave through the cells.
Nesiqiniseko sokuthi nanjengomeli noma ke umeli omkhandlu bomvu uyazi ke ukuthi uma icala lisiwa ke phambi kwenkantolo uma kuwukuthi ke alifakiwe kuhla lamacala ngalelo langa lelo angeke umsolo wakhe ayobingelela imantshi kodwa ke uzophuma ke ngemuva kuma cells.
Sergeant, my point is the accused never appeared in court on that day. The reasons I'm not interested.
Ba re taba ya bona ke gore molatofatšwa yena a senke a tsene ka kgorong ka tšatši leo mabaka ga bana taba le bona.
Ka ke tlhalošedi ke tlhalošitše court we
Let's proceed, Sergeant.
Ba re le se re jwale.
You from Foslora's court, you went back to Morocco.
Ya re vele tloga kgorong ya Fosloras la boela Morocco.
ke nnete.
That is correct.
Masibuya ke Fosloras sa buyela khona ke eMorocco.
And you explained to the court the reason why you went back to Morocco, right?
Le tlhalošetše kgorong ke re mabaka a gore gobaneng le be le boela Morocco.
Ke nnete.
That is correct.
Ngichaza nesizathu sokuthi kwakungani sibuyele eMorocco.
And Sergeant, I am aware that in your evidence in chief, that evidence you never tendered to court. You only tendered it after the production of the AVL report.
Ba re bona ba tseba gape le gore ge be le thoma ka botlhatsi ba lena ga senke la bolela botlhatsi bowe le thomile go bolela ka bona ge se go tswile botlhatsi bo ba AVL.
A sa gopola botse mara nka ba ke phošitše le gore ke go bolela.
I do not recall well, however, I would have made a mistake if I did not state that in my evidence in chief.
Angisakhumbuli kahle ukuthi kwisiphi isigaba uma ngisho lokho kufakazi kodwa uma kuwukuthi ke ukufakazi kwami kuyihloka ngisho lokho ukuthi ke ngenze iphutha noma ngenza iphutha.
It's fine, Sergeant. I will leave that also for argument.
Leone we ba re batla elesa tla re se ba phinkgishan batla e bolela.
Now, Sergeant, you are in Morocco police station.
Biale le stele fitlhile sepodiseng sa Morocco.
You want to go to Rustenburg because your ultimate destination was Phuket. Is that correct?
Le nyaka go ya Rustenburg e jwalo ka ga ile gore lena le be le ikemišitše go ya Phukeng. Innete. That is correct.
Iqiniso ke masifika ke khona ke Morocco kodwa la esasiya khona ke bakuthi ke siya ke eRustenburg ePhukeng.
Sergeant, just one issue on that aspect. If you are in Morocco, you want to go to upheke, which one will be the closest road?
Ge le le Moroka le nyaka go ya upheke tsela ye leng gore e tlo ba kgauswi e tlo ba efe?
Re go pulisha botse go tsena N1 Benskuman Pretoria Rustenburg Road ke yona e nna ke itse ba.
The route that I know is N1, then into Benskuman, Pretoria, and you then go to Rustenburg. That is the route that I know.
Engaziyo ke mina uma usemoroka ufisa ukuthi kuye ke eRustenburg make uphuke uzophuma khona ke ungene ku N1 uhambe ke uthi Pretoria bese ke manje uhamba ngayo ke eRustenburg road yona ke ngiyaziyo mina.
If I say to you, the quickest route, it will be from Morocco to Randfontein, Krugersdorp, Magalies. If you choose that route, then you'll be in Rustenburg in less than 1.5 hours. Will you dispute that?
Bare bona ge ba ka re tsela ye leng gore le be le ka e shumisha e be ka ba go ya Randfontein le tsene Krugersdorp le feta Magalies ge le fetša e be le gore lena le tsena Rustenburg le ka e ganetša
Ka
taba.
se la ganetse nna ke sepela ke tsebang le wena ke wena o tsebang gore e kgauswi a ke nka se ganetse nka se dumela nka se gane gape.
I would not dispute, neither will I agree with it. I used the one that I know, and you would also use the easier road that you know.
Ukuthi ke kwakufanele noma mhlawumbe uma ngiphuma lapho bese ngena ke eKrugersdorp ngihambe ngeMagalies eRandfontein eKrugersdorp sekuba eMagalies bese kuthi ke nje isikhathi esingambe ehora ke nesigamu ngizofika ke Rustenburg indlela eyaziwa wena ke leyo angeke ngivumelane ngiphikisane nawe mina ngasebenzisa eyaziwa yimina.
Thank you, Sergeant. Sergeant, when you arrived in Rustenburg on the 19th, you are going to upheke. Where did you go when you enter Rustenburg?
Ge le fitlha Rustenburg le ya uphekeng ka di 19 le ile la ya kae ge le tsena Rustenburg?
E go gopola botse ra so gore tsene police station re a feta ra ya straight go wa dulago mara re tsene re go fihle mo dulago.
If I remember well, I would not remember if we went into a police station. However, we did arrive where the accused stays.
Uma sesifika khona lapho ke eRustenburg make ephukeni ngisakhumbula noma ke saqala ke police station yini kodwa egcineni ke sayofika ke noma saya la ahlala khona umsolo.
You see, Sergeant, now you are so salty, and I know the reason why you are so salty. You remember your evidence on the 14th of November. You told this court. That is how I know about Baobab Street in Freedom Park. That you actually on that day went straight to accused number 2's residence. You remember that evidence?
Ba re jwale lena le se le phetoga se leng gore lena le be le se boletse ka di 14 tša November le boletse le ka mmila wa Baobab le bolela le ka go tsena ka Freedom Park ke mo e leng gore lena le feletse le mo molatofatšo a dulang gona le sa gopola bohlatsi bo
Ya gopola le re Baobab we ke bala AVL ke anka itse gore na Baobab e ka mara ka AVL mpontšitšo re ya bona.
I recall, however, when referring to Baobab, it was when I was going through the AVL, and that is where it showed me the street name Baobab, but I did not know where Baobab was.
Uma uthi ke nge 14 November ke mina ngathi ke Ngiyazi-ke ngoba ke ngase ngikhuluma ngebhawubhawu uma ngangikhuluma ngayo-ke ngaso istrata noma umgaqo-ke ibhawubhawu ukuthi ngangibuke yona-ke noma ngibheke yona i-AVL yona-ke yangitshela ngebhawubhawu awukuthi mina ngiyayazi.
And you were asked by the state as to did you go to
The machine is off. Okay, let's adjourn the time now.
It's almost time for the short adjournment. We can take the short adjournment at this point.
Okay, thanks.